The Guerrilla House Podcast.
Hey everybody, it's Jerry, Guerrilla House Productions. Welcome back to episode 9. Glad to be here, man. What have you been up to? I have been working, but since I last spoke with you, I've been watching a lot of action movies because it's been Action April. It's been fucking awesome. I had spring break. I spent some time with my wife. We just chilled. I had my birthday. I turned 54. Yeah, I did that. We'll be talking about that a little more. And, you know, school is winding down, so shit's just moving along to the summer. It's been great. Just enjoy baseball. Mariners been playing. That's been good. I hope they pick it up. But, you know, so far so good. NBA playoffs are in full swing. Somebody asked me who I picked, and I picked Denver and Boston. That's over. Other than that, the main focus of this podcast is going to be a recap of Action April. And this is going to be a short one. We're not going to go into deep analysis, just a recap of the films and of the month. And it was really fun. So if you want to see my whole list, you go to my Letterboxd or go check out my Instagram. Everything's on there. So here's a recap. I watched 33 films total. 30 of those films were from the Guerrilla House collection. It's pretty fucking awesome. And I streamed 3 other movies. I ended up having a weird theme pop up like in every year. And this theme or motif was 2. I had a lot of 2s, things coming in 2s. I had 42 actors who appeared in Action April 2026 films 2 times. 42. That's an impressive number. I would love to go into depth about each of those actors, but we're not going to do that, right? I don't have time. But another 2 was I had 6 directors who appeared 2 times, 2 screenings. So let's briefly go over those. First one, main man, all-timer, George Romero. I always play... Not George Romero. What the fuck am I talking about? This is Action April, not October. George Miller. George Miller. I always have a mandatory Miller. And this year we replayed Furiosa from 2024. I've been watching that movie a lot because it's the one I've seen the least. So I've been enjoying that more and more with each viewing. I really love the movie. We'll be talking more about Furiosa when I do my prequel deep dive with my main man Grant Chase coming over this weekend. And the other one I watched by George Miller was Mad Max 2 or The Road Warrior, depending on what part of the world you are from 1981. Easily a top 10, top 20 film in my catalog of all time. The next director who appeared twice in Action April always pops up in Action April, like Miller. He's one of the most played directors in Guerrilla House, and that is the main man, Walter Hill. Are you surprised? And we watched Undisputed from 2002 with Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames. It's a really enjoyable action movie. I like it more every time I've seen it, and I've seen it only a few times. And another one I really love by Walter Hill, I believe is overlooked, is from 1987, Red Heat. Red Heat is just full of action, and it was part of a double bill I'll be going into later. Watch that on Laserdisc, Undisputed on DVD, Furiosa and Road Warrior on Blue. Next director, John Woo appeared 2 times. 1986's A Better Tomorrow, and 1987's A Better Tomorrow 2. Both solid movies. I scored on DVD in a collection at the half price books. Solid score. This next one's a Blu-ray collection I got from Arrow on one of the sales this year by Enzo G. Castellari, Italian director. He did The Big Racket. We watched that from 1976, and The Heroin Busters from 1977. Both solid. Also came with a great booklet. Went in depth. It was a fun read. A great collection from Arrow. Highly recommend. Another director to appear 2 times is one of the all-time martial arts directors, Jimmy Wang Yu. And we watched The One-Armed Boxer from 1972. No, The One-Armed Boxer is what it's called. And Master of the Flying Guillotine, its sequel from 1976. I'd seen Master. I had that on DVD. One-Armed Boxer just got an Arrow Blue a couple years ago. I always want to watch them together. We'll go over that later. And the last most interesting director who played twice is one you would never guess, and that is Burt Reynolds. I had scored a couple Burt Reynolds films. First one, Gator on Blu-ray from 1976. Little Kino Lorber action there. Sequel to White Lightning. And Laserdisc I bought from 1985, Stick. And Stick is based on an Elmore Leonard story, so it's interesting. I liked the film. I read it had some troubles and didn't do well, but if you like action movies, it's very enjoyable. I'd recommend it. All right, let's move right along. That's all my 2s of directors, and now I'm going to go into my discoveries, my first-time watches. And out of the 33, I had 9 first-time watches. My favorite was The Big Racket from 1976. I just talked about my Arrow Blue. Enzo G. Castellari. Man, this movie was absolutely brilliant, man. I was pretty blown away by it. I watched the Italian version. Also has the English version. I read that there's just some of the Italian cut off due to violence. There are a couple sexual assaults. I'm going to get into a bit. And a lot of like shootouts and whatnot. Pretty intense for 1976, but I know you could watch the English version on Tubi, but I watched the Italian version. And this movie got me from the opening frame, man. There's motorcycle gangs, whatever, and they're wearing catcher's masks. So what the fuck are these guys? These are scary, like, sinister bastards. And I was getting a heavy Walter Hill Warriors vibe, and the lighting, everything. It just had that look. And these dudes out causing trouble, and man, what an opening. And there's this group of shitheads. This movie has some of the biggest shithead villains ever, man. Just bastards. They're just going around. And the worst part about it is they have a female villain it's part of the gang. And she goes and lures women so they could sexually assault them. Just fucking evil, man. She'll dress as a nun. She'll just do crazy. She's evil. And these guys go from place to place and just really have nothing they believe in besides intimidation, being in power. They don't give a fuck about the left or the right. They cause this riot. There's this left riot or left protest, and they're protesting new corporate supermarkets coming into Italy. If you can imagine how big of a deal that was with their local markets and everything. And it was kicking off, and they're going there just causing trouble, trying to get some the people all worked up, and they're successful. And they're just doing it for kicks, man. And they go around, like I said, sexually assaulting people, and they fuck with all these people. And they fuck with this cop, and they roll his car down the hill, and it has the coolest stun effect ever. I mean, it just blew my mind. It was very creepy. I don't know how they did it. Like showing a perspective from inside the car, bouncing around. It was exhilarating and just crazy. And the music, God, it's just really intense. So, dude, this dude and all these other dudes, they were done wrong. So they assemble, kind of like, Dirty Dozen, they assemble, and they gonna get revenge. And it turns into a big revenge movie, man. Going to, headed to a Sam Peckinpah conclusion. And at any rate, it's pretty cynical against the system. It's got the Death Wish vibe. The system's not working us. We got to take it into our own hands type of vibe. But, these bastards, you're rooting their ass off of these motherfuckers. But when they have their revenge, it's like, I love revenge movies. I don't know what it is about it. They just grab me, and I find them fascinating. And so sometimes you get the ones where you did me wrong, I fuck you up, end of the movie, all right. But this one, man, everybody, they're going for the revenge, but there's none of that cathartic moment, there's not, it's leading them to nowhere. It's a very dark movie, man. It's pretty harrowing. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend. It was just the Big Racket. Watch it. But remember, it's got, pretty intense, sexual assault in it. So if that triggers you, I would not watch the film. At any rate, the best revisit was A Better Tomorrow, 1986, John Woo. I got that DVD, and I had seen this movie a few times, but only on VHS in the 90s when Woo had his explosion, and watched a lot of English dubbed versions. And I was always a little bit lukewarm on A Better Tomorrow. And then I finally saw this action April with subtitles, and I was pretty blown away. It's like, oh, this is a masterpiece. So you get more depth of the characters. The movie feels heavier without the dubbing. I used to prefer the sequel, but not anymore. I retract that. I definitely prefer this one. I read that I have this book called City on Fire, and it goes over a lot of the Hong Kong cinema films. It's based, A Better Tomorrow is based on a 1967 film called The Story of a Discharged Prisoner. If you ever want to find that one, it might be worth looking at. Woo talked about Les Samurai, was one of his big influences. And after this film is when Woo, he was doing a lot of just kung fu movies, really good shit. But this is the movie he claims after he felt like an auteur. A lot of the same actors are in No Hurrah for Chivalry. It's a great kung fu movie. Yeah, but it's just a really good movie saying a lot about capitalism. Humans are expendable. A lot of depth, A Better Tomorrow. I was really happy to revisit. It felt like a first-time watch. My biggest surprise was a Laserdisc I bought Winchester 73, directed by Anthony Mann, released in 1950. This one attracted my attention because I was looking at top 10 Western lists, and this one came up on a few of them. I was like, I have not seen that movie. I've seen all these movies. I need to see that. So one of my buyers had it for sale, or sellers had it. The people I buy from had it for sale on eBay, and they had a nice mint Winchester 73. So I bought it. I loved the movie. It was pretty straightforward. Not really. Jimmy Stewart goes to town and he wins a contest. He wins a Winchester 73. He has some drama with this dude. Shit goes down and the gun exchanges hands. So whomever has the gun is who you follow. And the stories converge. It's a really interesting way to tell a story. Really tight script. Solid movie. Really solid. I was stoked on Winchester 73. Highly recommend. Highly recommend, especially if you love Westerns. One more surprise. The one I streamed this off Canopy. And it's called No Man's Land from 1987. Stars Charlie Sheen and D.B. Sweeney. And I remember seeing this VHS box and whatnot, but I had never seen this movie, maybe bits and bobs from it, like on, cable back in the day. But I never saw it. So popped it on and I really liked it. It was really good. It's about car thieves, cops. I had all the elements, man. It could have been a little neo-noir as well. Looked up the director, Peter Werner, and he is a real pro director, a lot of TV, a lot of action TV. And the writer and producer was Dick Wolf, who, Law and Order, man, that's his baby. So very prominent TV writer, producer, very famous. And this movie feels like TV sometimes. I was wondering if this movie was in the hands of a Michael Mann or a Jeremy Saulnier. I just wonder where it would go. I definitely would love to see that. No disrespect to Peter Werner. I bet you that movie came in under budget, on time, ready to rock and roll. And the dude was off, directing A-Team or Hill Street Blues or whatever. Just, skilled. All right. That's a little breakdown of Action April. When I come back after these messages, we're going to go into the two double bills that stood out. Man, we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Carl Williamson, better known as the Numero Uno Mate. When I'm having a tough morning and need to bring my A game, I crack open a cold bottle of Numero Uno. It's light, refreshing, and helps clean up the cobwebs, so I can be my best while at work. So the next time you're feeling a bit rough in the AM hours, remember, Numero Uno. It's a breakfast treat.
Okay, Numero Uno. We all know that it's the best beer. So go get yourself some. At any rate, that brings me to the double bill section of Action April recap. There was two of them. One was unintentional and one was very intentional. Let's start with the unintentional one. Went to the Sounders match with Nick, Mandy, and my wife, Jedi. Her kids were being honored from her school because they won a reading contest. So it was really fun. We went and saw the Sounders just smoke St. Louis. At any rate, Nick and Mandy wanted to come back and watch a double bill. So we started off with 1987 Walter Hill Red Heat, like I talked about. I really like Red Heat. It's got a lot of action. It's got some cool sequences. Arnold's awesome as a as a Russian cop, Soviet cop, I guess I should say. Really good movie. Not really. It's flawed, but it's really fun. The story is all right, but I really enjoyed it. But the one thing that was kind of, I don't know, was trying to pinpoint some of the troubles we were having with the movie. And, Nick had seen it before Mandy hadn't. And we came to the conclusion it was Jim Belushi. I don't got anything against Jim Belushi. I never even think of the guy. But I mostly remember him from Red Heat, and he was in Saturday Night Live when I was younger, and he was the angry chess coach. I remember that. It was quite funny. At any rate, he got a lot of dick jokes. He's talking about his dick multiple times. And it's like, Jim, are you improvising this? Because I don't think Walter Hill's writing that shit. I think Jim was the weak link. I don't know what happened. I'm just not buying it. So we enjoyed the movie. Then we were rummaging through my laser disc, and we came across 1986's Peter Hyams film, Running Scared. And they started laughing. What the hell is this? They'd never heard of it. And Running Scared was a drunken purchase because Jedi was teasing me really bad. I don't remember who was with it, but she was messing with me because I have this really irrational hatred for Billy Crystal. He just comes on screen. Just makes my skin crawl. I don't know why. I mean, Billy, people stick up for him. They can't believe, why that guy? And then I think about it, try to think about, dig up some dirt on Bill. And I really can't. Like even when he moved to L.A., he didn't become a Lakers fan. He went to the Clippers games. And I was like, oh, man. Oh, that's like why is he doing that? That's like not a dick move. But then, he's just not funny. He's hosting the Oscars. Anytime you ask him to tell a baseball story, it's all super just cheesy and romanticized. I just can't take it. But I bought that Running Scared, excuse me, because I was going to prove that I could like a Billy Crystal movie. And I remember kind of liking Running Scared when I was a kid. It was on a lot. So I put it on with them. And sure enough, they're tough Chicago cops, just like Red Heat. So we got a tough Chicago cop double bill from the 80s. And it's a buddy movie with Billy Crystal, Gregory Hines. They're always like hassling people, busting people, and making jokes. And again, the weakling. The movie's great. Peter Hyams, great director, man. Outland is a solid movie. But this one really reminded me of one of his early 70s buddy films. He's kind of like a pioneer of that subgenre. He did one called Busting with Robert Blake and Elliot Gould. Fantastic movie. Has a great foot chase scene. And so does Running Scared. It's got some great camera work. Peter Hyams actually shoots his own films. I think he edits them too. But he's just a jack of all trades. And I was thinking, man, this movie's not that bad. Like, if somebody else was in it, like Kurt Russell, this movie would be ruling because he's funny. But it was Billy Crystal, just tiny little Billy Crystal trying to intimidate Jimmy Smits and just a dickhead cop. And I don't know if it's Billy's fault. He's miscast. He's been miscast a couple times. He playing a tough Chicago cop, then a womanizer, and When Harriet Met Sally. Those are both pretty good movies, but man, it's Billy. And I just really don't like the guy. But I like this movie. I I don't want to diss on Billy. I want to look at the positives. Solid cast, good chases, like I said. And for all you yacht rock people, it's got a lot of yacht rock going on in the soundtrack. So you can, hum along while Billy's being a dick to criminals. I don't know. So the unintentional double is tough Chicago cops. No, let me rephrase. Top Chicago cop movies with miscast comedians. Red Heat, Jim Belushi. Running Scare, Billy Crystal. Those are what's wrong with these movies, but I still like them. That was a solid double bill. The next double bill concluded Action April, and it was my birthday movie selection. I always go see a movie on my birthday, and this year I did not go out. I had Nick, Mandy, Allison, and Mark come over along with Jedi, and we ate dodgy snacks and ice cream, the classic double martial arts bill by the legendary Jimmy Wang Yu, who directs and stars in The One-Armed Boxer from 1972, followed by its sequel, The Master of the Flying Guillotine from 1976. Now, I've seen, like I mentioned earlier, Flying Guillotine a bunch. I've seen that one. I've owned that movie forever. I think that's a top 5 martial arts movie. One-Armed Boxer, I have seen less. I've seen shitty VHS English dubbed versions. But a couple years ago, I scored Arrow released One-Armed Boxer. And I always wanted to run these movies back to back. So I hadn't done it since I bought it. I watched One-Armed Boxer on its own. At any rate, One-Armed Boxer is solid, and he's fighting all kinds of crazy people. Both these movies have just the craziest, bad guys, just hilarious. But the main bad guy One-Armed Boxer has to face is this Dracula motherfucker. Got fangs, and he is bad as fuck. Dude is scary. Knocked the shit out of people, man. Just awesome. And he has to fight these other monks, too. And it's a great movie. Then the sequel is elevated. Man, talk about villains. The master of the flying guillotine, this monk, he's up on the mountain. He gets word that One-Armed Boxer, took out one of his students. So dude comes down from the mountain and invades. Just imagine if you're watching Enter the Dragon, they're having a kung fu tournament, and some guy who's not in the tournament just starts coming in and kicking people's asses, just total disruption. That's this movie. And man, this bastard is serious. He just not coming down the mountain and return when he's done to drink lemonade or meditate. He burns his place to the ground. He's like, I mean business. And he comes down this guy, and the mayhem ensues. He's got his little flying guillotine, the baddest weapon ever in a movie. The second best is, of course, the Dolph Lundgren I Come in Peace or Dark Angel, depending on what part of the world you're from. The guy's got that badass star, but that's not what we're talking about now. The Flying Guillotine is just an incredible movie. I would dare rank it at least I'm going to have to do a separate pod and break this down. the best sequels ever made. Of course, we got, the ones that come straight to mind: Godfather Part 2, Empire Strikes Back, Aliens, of course. But nobody talks about the Master of the Flying Guillotine, man. It's elevated. Sorry, I just knocked my microphone off because I'm moving my hands all around talking about Master of the Flying Guillotine. And that capped Action April. What a month. I just highly recommend doing both those double bills. It is outstanding. Can't miss. I love double bills that are on accident and intentional. But just to recap, Action April, a couple ones I didn't mention. Just to go through the list, I already talked about Dirty Dozen, Under Siege, the original Better Tomorrow, Big Racket, Furiosa, Road Warrior, Hannah. I revisited Hannah. I like Hannah. It's great. It's not great, but it's fun action movie. Duel. I had seen Duel several times, Steven Spielberg's debut, but I got a Blu-ray, and I don't know if I have ever watched that all the way through. And I always just pick it up whenever it was on TV as a kid, but I'd seen it a million times. So Duel was a fun one. The Heroin Busters, I mentioned that already. A movie that's on my stack by Sui Hart, Seven Swords with Donnie Yen. It was like 2 hours and 40 minutes, man. Definitely not a great martial arts movie. Something was wrong with it. That looked like it was a troubled production. I had to wash that stank off by putting in another great sequel of all time, Sanjuro by the legendary Akira Kurosawa. Logan. I watched Logan, one of the great Marvel films. Logan, we need more stuff like that if you're going to make those types of movies. Undisputed Gator. I had Jackson and Gretchen come over one night during spring break when Jackson hadn't seen Lethal Weapon. It's always fun to revisit. That amazing movie. Winchester 73. I watched The Whole Bloody Affair. Kill Bill is awesome. Stick. Atomic Blonde. Man, I'm telling you. Atomic Blonde is just fun to look at with Charlize Theron. It's one of my favorite action heroes. I really like that movie. I know it's not perfect or anything, but who cares? It's just so stylish and badass. Shanghai Noon, mandatory. Jackie Chan took a different angle. Another Italian film, Savage 3. Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. A Better Tomorrow 2. I got a new Laserdisc of not Ghost, that's a Slayer song. The Dogs of War with Christopher Walken. Outstanding. The Batman I revisited. No Man's Land. Lone Wolf and Cub, Sword of Vengeance. Red Heat, Running Scared. Apocalypto. I hadn't seen that since it came out. That movie's good. It's a nail biter. The newest movie, we watched Shelter with Jason Statham. I love Jason Statham. And end it with the martial arts birthday double bill, one-armed boxer, and the Master of the Flying Guillotine. Do you want to check out that list? It's on my letterbox, or if you go into my Instagram, I document all the films I watch. Mostly my physical media. At any rate, I think that's all I got for you. I didn't want this to go. It went a little longer than I thought. I got talking about the double bills. But appreciate you guys. We're getting ready to shoot Bloodbath in Palookaville and end it. So keep you informed on that. Thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. Have a wonderful day, beautiful people. Take care.